Well, backstroke for American men has taken on a little different twist of late. You see the record times. There's so many records, so many achievements in this stroke held by Aaron Pearsall in Rome 2 years ago. He won the World Championships and set a world record that still stands at 1:51.92. Last week we saw Aaron in Shanghai with a beard. He's out of the water. He says he's given it up, and that route he opens up this stroke for so many. And you see some veteran names, of course, Grievers, you know, from prior Olympics. Nick Thoman just represented the United States in the World Championships. It is really an open stroke, isn't it?
It is, especially now that Aaron's gone. These guys, what they're looking for, Ted, it's just a little bit of a ray of sunshine, some hope. And when Lochte was in it and when Pearsall was in it, there was no hope. It's sort of like the 200 IM. Anything can happen, obviously, on any given day, but with Phelps and Lochte in there, it's just really tough to break those two up. And now you have some hope for one of these guys to make a mark here, to build some momentum to Shanghai, to London.
Lane number 8 is a member of the gold medal winning 400-meter penalty relay last week at the Shanghai World Championship from Swindon, Carolina, Nick Thoman.
And not only did Nick Thoman represent the United States in Shanghai last week in individual backstroke, but he had a real thrill, a moment for the first time to swim on the final of a relay team, and he was part of a gold medal winning medley relay team.
Yeah, can you imagine having Michael Phelps and Nathan Adrian and now Mark Gangloff as teammates of a world championship team? A very special moment for him. I talked to him a little bit about it earlier in the week, and he said it was just an incredible feeling being on that relay. And you know, he started off as a 200 backstroker. He was really good at one point. He's been concentrating more on the sprints, but he was 5th at the Olympic trials in this event, 5th in the 100 as well. So he's been around for a while. He's kind of laid off this 200 lately and just concentrated more on the 100.
Lane 2, you see him getting off there quickly. Lane 1 is at the bottom of your picture. Lane 2 is a 16-year-old with some Ryan Murphy. In fact, he just turned 16 from Jacksonville, Florida area. He holds a national age group record at this. Grievers, we know him as a veteran swimmer with Olympic experience. He was the fastest prelim swimmer. He's right in the middle in lane 5.
4 teenagers in this group, and once again, a great chance to try to make a little statement to yourself. Yeah, regardless of where you place and what your time is, it's important to kind of build some self-confidence here. You know, you want to try to at least get a feeling of saying, hey, listen, maybe I can make this Olympic team next summer. You've got a year away, but you know, this is a great chance to try to prove a point.
Now we had a swimmer in the consolation final, one swimmer, teenager, in fact, John Conger, went under 2 minutes, and we'll see how the times come in here in the national championship final. Grievers now has opened up 0.8 of a second over the teenager Murphy and another 17-year-old Jacob Pedley.
Well, Grievers, you know, he's very good at this race, and he, once again, he's sort of like Thoman. He's been concentrating more on the sprints, but he's a solid 200 backstroker. And you know, I forgot to mention Tyler Clary. You know, when you think about great backstrokers, Tyler didn't even swim this race. He won the bronze medal at the World Championships, 154. So right now, Lochte and Clary sort of a stranglehold on this, but you know, this event at least becomes a little bit more open now that Pearsall's gone.
Well, another veteran swimmer, Rex Tullius, 24-year-old from Daytona Beach, Florida, trained in the same place as Ryan Lochte for quite a while, and he's right on Grievers as they come home. It's a two-man race. Grievers closer to you in the picture, a slight edge on Tullius. Boy, look at him, Grievers getting right near the lane line, and Grievers comes in, he hangs on by 22 100ths. And Matt Grievers had that occupational hazard for a backstroker outdoors. He veered right into the lane line there down the stretch.
It is so tough swimming outside if you're a backstroker, because swimming indoors you have a pinpoint where you can look up top and see where you're going. Outside, especially in the sun. See the sun? See this reflection right in here? That happens to these backstrokers all the way down. Now the sun is setting to the west side of us, so you know it's not quite as bad. It's at an angle, but you can see Matt's looking directly into it. So it's very, very difficult, and he got thrown up against that lane line. It cost Elizabeth Pelton a national title in the 200 backstroke against Beisel, but you can see this point at the halfway point. Matt Grievers certainly in control early on. Tullius didn't really start to make his move until the second half of this race, and really started coming on that third 50. But Grievers was able to maintain his composure. Here's the 150 turn. Grievers obviously in control there. Tullius right there to the left. That's where he starts to kind of have that building feeling. You want to have some building momentum going into this third turn. You don't want to go into the third turn with lackadaisical. You want to have some momentum, and you can see Tullius is actually starting to bump up against the lane line himself. Again, so difficult. You can see the sun really reflect on these swimmers. But watch Grievers, that great backstroke, pushes those lungs into the water, that great tone. His stroke rate is so good. Electric kick behind him, very steady, very flowing, effective, but there he goes right up against it. And then he wavers back. He lost a couple tenths just going into the wall.
And he was only 2/10 off his personal best, but Matt Grievers sweeps the backstrokes here this week at the Nationals. He wins the 100 and the 200, and he's with Alex.
Well, Matt, it looked like you hit the lane line there. What happened?
At the very end, the sun got in my eyes. I saw Rex was right there, and we actually held hands at the finish.
So you hit Rex.
That me and Rex were a little embrace there at the end, so I knew it was close.
Matt, you've concentrated on the sprints a little bit more than this race. How much opportunity is there for you as you win this race, as you look forward to 2012?
I look at this as a training tool. I would love to swim this competitively with the best in the U.S., but I have a long way to go before that. So right now I'm just using this to train for the 100 back.
Does this help prove to you, though, that you might be able to do it in 2012?
Hopefully it doesn't prove it to my coaches.
A title for Matt Grievers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, Matt Grievers said to us earlier this week, he didn't like watching the World Championships on television. And so he's taking advantage of getting back in the water this week.
There he was, a little hand holding down the stretch.
But a good final. 6 men go under 2 minutes. Grievers just misses, just 2/10 off his personal best. Rex Tullius also just shy of his personal best to claim the silver, and Nick Thoman gets the bronze. So it's been a good week for Matt Grievers. Well, the same for Dana Vollmer, the standout who started these national championships literally just off the plane from China with an outstanding performance in the 100 fly. We'll see that when we return to Stanford.